So your avoidant ex suddenly returns from out of the blue, and you're thinking, should I get back together with this person? And how will I know whether or not I'm making the right decision to re-engage with them, to talk, to connect? Well, if you are not already certain about how you should proceed, you have to ask yourself these three questions. And at the end of this video, as a bonus, I'm going to tell you not only the three questions you absolutely need to ask yourself if your dismissive avoidant ex returns, but how to know whether or not this person is showing up and really willing to do the work and make a difference in the relationship. So let's get the obvious part out of the way. If an ex returns from the past, no matter what their attachment style or who it is, if you just get back together without vetting the situation and addressing things, there is a very high chance that you literally go in a full circle. Things are good. You have this like sort of reenactment of the honeymoon phase. And then all of a sudden things start getting bad again, and you are literally back to square one. And so, how can you actually prevent this from happening? Well, here's the first question you need to ask yourself. Has this person been doing some sort of work on themselves so that there is a greater likelihood of a different outcome this time? And that's a great question for you to honestly ask yourself too. I think it's a great question for both people. If we went through a breakup, okay, if we're going to try to get back together, both people will do very well to just take a look and be accountable for whether or not things can be improved. Okay. And are there actual things that we've physically done to try to improve the situation? Because if nobody's done work on themselves, if nobody's reflected on their own behaviors, things like that, and we're just going back to come back together, you're going to get back to the same exact place that you started off with when the breakup happened. Okay. And that's just the cold hard truth. So that is question number one. Now, I cannot stress enough that it cannot be that somebody says they want to. I would like to do that one day. I would like to do that in the future. I'd like to work on myself. I would like to read books about my attachment style or take courses or go to counseling or whatever it is. That doesn't matter. Okay. If somebody says they want to, it's just a conscious desire. For things to really change, they need to be habituated into the subconscious mind. Okay. Habits, actions repeatedly over time, those types of things fire and wire new neural pathways so real change takes place. If somebody just thinks, oh, I'd like to do that one day, I mean, you could say anything. You'd say, I'd like to fly a rocket ship one day. Do you fly rocket ships? I don't know. Drive a rocket ship? You could say anything. But whether you are actually doing it already and it's habituated into your behaviors is literally the game changer. Okay. So that's question number one. Question number two. Am I willing to be accountable? Is this person willing to be accountable, right? You're looking at your ex in this situation. Is this person willing to be accountable for what they didn't do well in the past parts of our relationship? Okay. And again, great question to ask yourself too. Am I accountable for things as well? And honestly, I'll be really real with you. It's not fun to be accountable for things if you were 2% in the wrong and somebody was 98% in the wrong. And sometimes that happens. But truly, if you don't take accountability for your 2%, you're also not growing. Okay. So I really think it's important for like anything that each party can be accountable for. It's healing to do that. It's freeing to do that. You take your power back because you stop blaming other people or situations. So the more you're able to be like, oh, yeah, I made this mistake here. Maybe your mistake was a reaction to how somebody showed up first, but you still made the mistake back, right? So we have to be accountable, and accountability goes an extremely long way. And again, we have to see that this person's being accountable. And the kicker here, or like the most important part, is it can't be that somebody says, I would like to be accountable one day. I was thinking about trying to be more accountable. I would like to think of myself as an accountable person. No, no, no. Are they accountable? Did they say, hey, here's what I see I can improve on. Here's how I'm improving that, or going to work to improve that in terms of like the commitments that I've already made on a regular basis. It has to be that you see the accountability in real time. Okay. It can't be like, that would be great to have a conversation about being accountable. It needs to be very, very clear, and you need to see the accountability happen. And again, I would encourage that for both parties in a dynamic. And number three, are we able to have those hard conversations in a more peaceful or productive manner? Okay. And if the answer to this is no, then you're going to see everything fall apart, unfortunately, honestly. Remember, I'll tell you a bonus thing in just a second here about the most important thing to actually look out for if you're trying to get back together with an ex. But You have to see, are we able to have those hard conversations? Because if you can't, it's going to be really difficult to make any progress or headway, even if you want to be accountable, but then both of you blow up and get angry, or both of you stonewall or ice each other out, or whatever is taking place. There has to be the ability to actually navigate hard conversations. And sometimes that takes practice. It doesn't mean it's going to go perfectly well the very first time. Sometimes that's a reflection of like, hey, you want to start and chip away at it and try. And maybe you pause and come back to it, but you keep saying, hey, these are the outcomes I want to have. I want us both to have our feelings heard and acknowledged. And I want us both to have our needs met in this situation and strategize on behalf of, right? So if you can do that, that's going to be where you see a tremendous amount of momentum. Okay. So really important stuff. Now, the bonus part of this, and I'll tell you this in just a second, I do just want to let you know that if you're thinking of getting back together with an ex, there is an actual roadmap. And I say this with like a lot of care. There's a roadmap, okay? And it's for each attachment style. And it's how to get back together with your dismissive avoidant ex, your fearful avoidant, your anxious attachment style ex. We have these very in-depth webinars with the steps and the frameworks, and you can check them out fully for free. I'll put a link down below. But the most important part of that roadmap is that it gets you to vet for these things. Okay. It starts by being like, what are your standards? What are your needs? What are your non-negotiables? What questions do you need to ask? There's not just three in that. There's other ones that are really important. So you have that like prerequisite to make sure you're doing something in a healthy way. Because honestly, I would see in counseling that sometimes I'd work with people and they would show up really well and heal after breaking up and like become way stronger and better and have a lovely lasting relationship for the long haul. But not everybody is committed to doing the work. Okay. So that's something that really has to be a part of this thing that you're vetting for. Okay. So anyways, you can check those out fully for free. And actually with that comes for life as a bonus. Of course, you get to keep for life. Again, for free. It's $250 value, but you get to keep it, is the attachment styles and intimacy course. It's all about intimacy, sex, closeness, what brings people together, what pulls them away according to each attachment style, like their personal roadmap in that way too. And you'll get to keep that for life just for a limited time. And that the doors are closing on that promotion shortly. So I'll put that link down below. Now, the very last thing that's the bonus here is when you are vetting, okay? And I kind of said this throughout the video, but when you are vetting, you have to always vet by actions and behaviors, not words. And I want you to remember that because if you constantly go through and you're just trying to vet for people's words, you're dating people's potential, okay? People can tell you all the things they want to do in the world. Those can be conscious things. We are truly like the vast majority of who we are is made up by our subconscious habits and patterns. It's responsible for 95+% of all of our beliefs, thoughts, emotions, decisions, actions, behaviors. And so we have to be able to see, is somebody already doing these things? Are there actions to already showcase for this? Because if there aren't, things will stay in the conscious mind and we won't see the needle move. But if somebody's habitually, consistently across time doing these things, that's what you can actually pay attention to. Okay. And it goes back to that old, I think it's a Maya Angelou quote. And she says, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. People show you through their actions. They do not show you through their words. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have questions about this or want to see more questions, comment down below. Let's hear what questions you have or what you might be experiencing that I can support you with in terms of healing or getting back with somebody after a breakup, and how to really navigate that. And then also, if you enjoy this channel, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I would super appreciate it. And of course, and then you don't miss out on any of the different free gifts that we often share on here. And that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.